السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم. أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So today we're going to go over things that break one's fast but only make qadha wajib. So there's about 10 things which if you do, they will only make qadha wajib. Like you have to make up the fast and that's it. You don't have to do anything extra. The first is, if anything is put by force into the mouth of a fasting person. Let's say you're sitting and I put something by force into your mouth. I shouldn't. I'm sinful, but if I put it in your mouth, you just have to make up that fast. The second thing is, if water goes down the throat while gargling. For example, you're doing wudu, you're doing ghusl, and you're trying to gargle, and the water goes below. And then you're like, oh, this happened, my fast is broken. So then you just have to make up that one fast. You don't have to do the expiation. The third situation is vomit comes out intentionally a mouthful, or you return the vomit down the throat. That, this doesn't happen that often, but if it happens to you, then you have to make up the fast and that's it. Swallowing a pebble, a piece of paper, or any item intentionally, which is not used as food or medicine. Like we discussed last week, putting something in your mouth, for example, a piece of rubber or plastic, and for example, you're just doing it and you swallow it. Now you shouldn't have put this in your mouth in the first place. Now that you've swallowed it, it's broken your fast. Now you do have to make up this fast. Swallowing something edible equal to or bigger than a grain of gram, which was stuck between the teeth. However, if it is taken first out of the mouth and swallowed, it will break the fast whether it is smaller or bigger than the size of a gram. So we should, while we're fasting, if something is stuck in the tooth, we should try to gargle and get it out. But if we're trying with a toothpick and it's a big piece of something and it goes down the throat, it does break the fast. We should avoid trying to mess with something, especially if we're close to iftar time. Just wait it out 30 more minutes, you'll be okay. Putting oil into the ears. When, if you go to somebody, a doctor, and you have a problem with your ear, nose, or throat, it's the same doctor. Because it all leads down through here. Right? So this is why we shouldn't put oil in the ear, because this may go down through the throat. Should be very careful. Inhaling snuff through the nostrils. Swallowing the blood from the gums if the color of the blood is more than the saliva with which it is mixed. Now what does this mean? This means, for example, you start bleeding from your teeth. And when you start bleeding, what happens is the saliva and the blood get mixed. But the color of the saliva now is darker red, more than the saliva itself. It's dark red. So at this point, if you swallow it, then your fast is broken. But you only have to make up one fast. You don't have to do, like we said last week, the expiation. The ninth point is to eat and drink forgetting that one is fasting, and thereafter thinking that the fast is broken, to eat and drink again. If you do it by accident, you wake up from sleep, you by accident put a samosa in your mouth. Sambusa, put it in your mouth, and then you remember, okay, your fast is not broken. Now, if the next thing you do is, you take a second samosa, you're like, oh, my fast is broken, let me eat another one. Now your fast is fully broken, that's it. Now you have to make it up. The 10th thing, to eat and drink after the morning time, after like when Fajr comes in, to eat after that. Or to break the fast before sunset due to a cloudy sky or a faulty watch, and then realizing one's fault. So for example, the Fajr time comes in, you're like, oh, okay, I'll do it according to the Fajr time. But by accident, you thought it was 5:55, but actually Fajr time comes in at 5:35, and you're eating, then it was a mistake. But because you ate so late that the Fajr time had already entered, you will only have to make up the fast. You won't have to, do expiation. So any other fast than the Ramadan one, whether broken intentionally or with a good valid reason, makes only qadha wajib. There's no kafara for breaking any fast besides that of Ramadan. Let's say you're doing a nafil fast. You don't feel too good. You're not so ill that if you keep fasting, you have to go to the hospital, but you don't feel so well. You break it, only you have to do qadha. But in Ramadan, if you knew you could make it and you still break it, you have to do qadha and kafara. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.